of Bollywood this week. Friends, the second Malayalam movie which we will review this week is none other than Velipadinte Pusthakam, directed by Lal Jose, starring none other than Mr. Mohanlal. Well, friends, what happens when Virendra Sehwag and Sachin Tendulkar used to come to bat? Every time we used to see this pair, the hit jodi of Sachin and Sehwag on screen, we used to think, oh God, it's going to be another 50 run or a maximum 100 run partnership between both of them. They were a super hit pair. But out of 100 times, 96, 97 times they were successful. But the 3 times they were unsuccessful is what has happened in this movie, Velipadinte Pusthakam. The hit duo of Lal Jose and Mohanlal have really fallen flat on screen, and the movie which has come out has not been made what it was expected to be. The subject being really novel. Just imagine you're making a biopic. I won't call it a biopic of Vishwa, Anup Menon in this movie, but just imagine you're making a movie of somebody and you're playing that character and going in front of the wife of the dead man, and how the wife behaves when she sees the dead husband being played by someone else, and the memories come alive on screen. That feeling really touched my heart. And how the whole meaning of a short film and making a movie just for the sake of building an hostel in a campus where students will not stay for lifetime. They will pass out and go out sometime, but in spite of that, they're making an hostel for generations and generations to come. And Mohanlal throwing in the surprise of becoming a priest in this movie, that was a shocker for me. I did not know that. Right from making the entry of doing a wheelie on a cycle, and becoming a priest to becoming the Don Vishwa, dhoti and his red shirts and mustache and short hair. Mohanlal impresses throughout in this movie. If this movie is not appreciated by the audiences or does not do well at the box office, the only reason will be its script, its narration, and its long run time and unnecessary scenes. Mohanlal, it is at its best. Talking about the action sequences, Mohanlal does all the action sequences with true finesse. His fitness level has gone so high. There was a certain sequence, where there is an up and down, balancing act when Mohanlal is standing. I couldn't see any cable wires on his shoulder. Seriously, that scene is done so nicely. And how, in the second half of this movie, we come to know the flashback of Mohanlal, that he wanted to become a priest and one day took the dress, and how Alencio K. Lopez remembers all these things, all these moments, and how can we forget the Jinky Kamal song. All in all, this movie, Velipadinte Pusthakam, is a good family entertainer. The whole family can go and watch it. But it is not for those intellectuals, the people, the cynicals who are gonna, point out flaws in every single scene, every single movie. Come on, what do you want Mohanlal to do on screen? It is a very decent subject, a subject which no industry will even dare to make. Tell Bollywood to make a movie on this same subject, nobody will invest money. But I would give full marks to Lal Jose and Mohanlal for coming in and making this beautiful feel-good movie. The film lacks many aspects. The action sequences are choreographed so badly in some places. Mohanlal remembering the whole action sequence and performing it during the shoot is something we could not digest. But in the last action sequences, the rain sequence when Mohanlal is fighting, we can see the stunt master telling punch, jab, hit, bend, push. So that also makes sense. But coming to the actors of this movie, the actors of this movie are a true delight to watch. Right from Chemben Vinod, Chemben Vinod, who plays Kaka in this movie, completely surprised. His menacing act towards the climax really brings out the movie, lights the whole screen. But I want to congratulate Mr. Sarath Kumar. Sarath Kumar as a small boy, completely, I couldn't imagine such a small boy, coming on screen and making such a great impact. The way this boy has danced in Jinky Kamal song is absolutely a true delight to watch on screen. The whole Jinky Kamal song, picturized on this guy and a bunch of friends, very nice. But full marks to Arun Kurian also, who has become the young guy, a passionate guy who wants to direct. One particular scene which I really loved in this movie was Arun Kurian, going and confronting Mohanlal when Mohanlal tells that the climax of this movie has to be reshot. And Arun Korean, the guts he develops, and he goes to Mohanlal and tells, no, this is not going to be shot, this is a fiction movie. But then very next scene, how he goes to Mohanlal and Acha catches his legs and tells, I'm really sorry. Very nice actor, very good screen presence, will do, main lead roles in future, that's a guarantee. But Alensi Key Lopez is also in a very key role. But friends, the person who made this movie for me a real laugh fest. I really enjoyed in this movie. I know things were not making sense. His character was very badly edged, coming in here and there, not doing things as appropriate as possible. But for me, Salim, the actor who played the vice principal in this movie, he was an absolute delight. I have never seen such an actor doing comedy on screen ever before. I mean, his scenes where flirts with the sweeper, the female sweeper of the college, and he becoming the vice principal, and the students changing the CCTV desktop with some porn site. That scene is absolutely fantastic. Mohanlal's scenes with Salim are also a true delight on screen. They add a lot of comic elements in the movie. Coming to the female star cast of this movie, we have Anna Ranjan, who plays Mary teacher in this movie. Not a very nicely and very well written role, but she does quite justice. In the second half, obviously, she becomes the fictional wife of Vishwa, the Don in this movie. Talking about Vishwa in this movie, I mean, Anoop Menon, who's also the writer of this movie, has done such a good job. I mean, the whole image of Anoop Menon, when he comes on screen, as a Don, completely combed back hair, handlebar mustaches, he is a complete delight to watch on screen. In the start scene, when there is a fight sequence taking place, we think, oh god, why is this unnecessary scene taking place? Anoop Menon being bashed by so many villains and killed, actually with a hammer on his head. All this makes sense in the climax of this movie. You're gonna come to know why all this makes sense. But the cinematography by Vishnu Sharma, right from capturing the beautiful beaches, the Phoenix College scenes, and all the action sequences which takes place in rain, each and every droplet of water is perfectly captured in his lens. Vishnu Sharma has done a fantastic job, but the music by Shan Rahman is also a delight to watch on screen. He has also done a very good job. But Priyanka Nair, I mean, I was in awe of Priyanka Nair. The scene where Priyanka Nair is standing with her daughter, and there is Anna Ranjan doing makeup and becoming the on-screen Priyanka Nair. That scene, she tells, I don't do makeup, I'm a very simple woman, to Sarath Kumar, and Sarath Kumar tells Priyanka Nair, oh, this is just for cinematic effect. She is so simple. The scenes where Priyanka Nair sees Mohanlal, who has become, obviously Vishwa the Don, coming on screen, and how she is, half teary-eyed, and seeing Mohanlal, those scenes are very nice in this movie. So friends, all in all, what is the movie all about? Let's see the review of Velipadinte Pusthakam. Well friends, Velipadinte Pusthakam starts in 2007, where there is a fight sequence taking place in rain, where Vishwa, the Don, Anoop Menon, is getting bashed by some people. He is eventually killed. Cut to 2017, we are shown Phoenix College. The clash in the college between the fishermen students and the rich students is an absolute delight to watch. The vice principal, obviously played by Salim, is the comic angle in this movie. The first scene he enters and clicks photographers of, couples making love in the college campus is absolutely hilarious. The principal of the college is also very funny. The main principal, the father. So friends, the story moves forward and how the principal decides to put CCTV cameras in the college, to monitor the campus, and how the next day two people stripping and wearing paper bags come on screen and tease the vice principal. That scene is absolutely fantastic, and how they plan and plot and change the CCTV footages and getting Salim fired from the job as vice principal, and the song follows. Jinki Kamal. That song is very nice. I mean, I really love the way they have choreographed. The young folks have performed very well in this movie. Mohanlal enters in this movie. How Mohanlal comes on the wheelie, doing a wheelie on the cycle. Fantastic. There's a tread tied down and he pum. Excellent scene. I mean, I'm really impressed with this scene. So friends, the first interaction of the vice principal Salim and Mohanlal is also very hilarious. Mohanlal tells, and he goes back Salim. That scene is also very nice. There is a physics teacher in this movie. I don't know what is the name. Nano Physics say. Very nice. She is a very nice chubby looking actress. She is friend of Anna Ranjan, who plays Mary teacher in this movie. That is also very nice. The first scene when Mohanlal comes and confronts the students and they have made a Dracula on the board. That scene is also very nice. How he explains them and how he becomes friends is absolutely fantastic. One, I think problem with the censor board is that, I mean, we know that without wearing a helmet and riding on road is not safe, but a statutory warning every time there is someone driving a vehicle without a helmet, driving a vehicle without helmet is not allowed. That warning is not required. It disturbs you on screen. That's my only problem. Apart from that, the story moves forward, and how one day Anna Ranjan and the physics teacher go to the church, shockingly come to know that Mohanlal is the father of the church. That scene is also very nice. When the physics teacher faints down and Mohanlal smiles is absolutely nice. So friends, what happens is that now the next song where they're shown selling fish, pulling boats, that scene is also very nicely shown. Mohanlal sitting in a church, hearing to confessions of the people in the church, and the drunk father of Sharat Kumar needs special mention. His revelation, how he reveals the story in the climax when Mohanlal catches him, that scene is also very nice. I mean, that sets the tone for the climax of this movie. So friends, the story moves forward, and how Mohanlal plots a plan to make a movie on the life of Vishwa the Don. Initially, the plan is not to make movie on Vishwa, some other short film, but later they decide that with the help of certain Babu, they will going to make a movie in this Lal Babu, his friend. They're going to make a movie and fund the hostel activities. The next proceeding, how they go to the house to capture old photos of Vishwa, very nicely shown. How they research his character, the audition scene. The scene in the audition when Mohanlal is sitting and taking auditions on the various characters of this movie is also very nicely shown. We have Mr. Salim also coming and giving the audition, who is eventually cast as the villain in this movie, very nicely shown. And how they do not find the character to play Anup Menon, and Mohanlal suddenly comes in a dhoti and makes a fantastic interval sequence. Till then the film is good, highly unrelatable, but okay, goes at a good pace. You can say okay, breezy first half. The second part slightly dips down in many aspects. The shooting begins, and how we are shown so many fight sequences between Mohanlal and some men. People would not digest so many sequences. Apart from that, Mohanlal fighting, and the scene where he comes face to face with the wife Priyanka Nair of Vishwa is absolutely fantastic. And how one day Mr. Salim gets beaten up by the real villain. That scene also very nice. He comes to set and tells, I will not do this character. That scene is very comic. And how friends, one day the drunk father of Sharat Kumar recognizes Mohanlal as Vishwa and creates a disturbance and interruption on the shooting on the beach. That scene is also very nice. Coming to the story of the movie, Mohanlal comes to know who was the real person who had killed Anup Menon. But the climax is shot with the person people think has killed Anup Menon. So friends, what happens in the climax? What is the role of Chemban Vinod? Who is the real killer in this movie? What happens to the disease of Mohanlal? The disorder which he has. Does Lal Jose does full justice to that character or that part of the movie? For that, you have to go and watch Velipadinte Pusthakam. Coming to the work of this movie, Mohanlal is absolutely fantastic in this movie. Salim as the vice principal is a true delight to watch on screen. Writing by Benny P is very good, but lacks, the depth, the things which were required to make this movie a winner. Editing could have been a really crisp, making it a 2-hour movie. There are some very unnecessary scenes which come in and out, which would not be appreciated by non-Mohanlal fans. Mohanlal fans will love this movie. Apart from that, Chemban Vinod as Kaka is very nice. Arun Kurian as a young boy who becomes director is quite good. Sharat Kumar is one of my favorites in this movie as a fish member, is very nice in this movie. Alen Saki Lopez, small role but a good role. Shan Rahman music, Jinky Kamal, I don't need to say anything. It is a blockbuster already. Anu Ranjan as Mary teacher, even the physics teacher, I don't know her name, she is fantastic in this movie. Vishnu Sharma's cinematography, all in all, Velipadinte Pusthakam could have been that partnership of Sachin Seva which we were looking for, 100-run partnership, but falls flat. So friends, how many stars for Velipadinte Pusthakam? I go with 3 out of 5 stars for Velipadinte Pusthakam. So friends, if you like this review, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. This is me, Ansari, signing off. I will see you in another episode. Till then, as I always say, stay cool, man.